What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is season 14, episode 17, the finale episode, and baby, they could have kept this. Oh, when I tell you social media is on fire right now, it's too much. It's too much. Oh! But let's get into this review. Sometimes before we get into the review, we get a little spicy, just a little bit. And I just got a few things I want to talk to y'all about. So I did a standalone spicy corner. Please check it out. I will put the link to that video in the description box below. It became an hour-long video because I had so much saved in my phone as it pertains to Beverly Hills, and I wanted to talk about it. But that doesn't mean I ain't got stuff that I found today and like yesterday night that I want to talk about now. So please check out that video. Spicy corner, but I'll just reiterate my thoughts here. And it's the standalone spicy corner video. I hate that Garcelle is leaving. Even though she wasn't my favorite on the show, I still enjoyed her on the show. But I am happy that she's leaving on her own terms, and the fact that she's leaving with more than what she came with. Like, she got to deal with NBC Universal. She has her production company. She's making Lifetime movies, Tubi movies. She was featured in Marvel. She over there with Disney. She on Marvel. I didn't even know she was in Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. And you know, that mean they get residuals because they play that on the TV all the time, especially if you got FX, okay? But she's leaving with more. I didn't even know that she was on Survival of the Thickest. I don't watch that show, but I'm thinking about checking it out because since she announced that she was leaving, people are sharing the clips, and they actually got a laugh out of me. So I'm just like, I'm happy for her that she's choosing to leave on a high note instead of being shoved out or kicked out. And I do agree with her reasoning for leaving. Like, her two youngest kids or her remaining kids are leaving. And like, senior year is a really big deal. And depending on where they go, it seems like maybe the one kid that we saw on the show is really going into modeling. So he might be all around the world or like in New York or over there in LA, but like she wants to be a part of that. And then you have her other son who we don't know might be going to college. And it's like, you want to be there for them their last year. So I get why she's leaving. It's just like, what else does Beverly Hills have without her? That's the only thing that's in my mind, because I'm like, no Garcelle. Everyone's pretty much over Kyle and Dorit's like marriage, divorce storyline. Kyle being a closet lesbian or bisexual. Not like, it's stale. Their beef got stale really quick, and it seems like they're now friends again. The cast hates Sutton, except for Jennifer Tilly and maybe, you know, Kathy, maybe. That's a big maybe. And then you have Beauvais, where it's like the storyline of you trying to get pregnant at 48, it wasn't really hitting on nothing. And we all feel like Keely is a grifter. No one really has any fond things to say about the man. And then all Erica did was redecorate her house. So what is season 15 about to be like? Like, who are they going to bring in to like shake things up? Because I do think bringing in Denise, Sutton, and Garcelle season 10 really shook up Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I'm just like, man, I did not see this coming. I think that's what's so surprising to me is like, I did not see this coming. But best of luck to Garcelle. For real, like I said, she wasn't my favorite, but I am happy that she's leaving this show on her own terms, and she leaving with more than what she came with. Okay, way more than what she came with. She got a good relationship with them. She got jobs. Like, she good. She gonna be fine. So shouts out to Garcelle, okay? So moving on for that, let's talk about Watch What Happens Live. So in my standalone Spicy Corner video, I do have longer form videos of clips from Watch What Happens Live. I talked about Erica and Beauvais' response to Garcelle no longer being there. And I also talked about the house comment that Erica made and Beauvais' roses and thorns and things of that nature. So again, please check out that video. But I got two clips that I want to play for you guys. One clip is of Erica responding to Garcelle, where she basically said, I married for love, you married for money. And then the other clip I want to play for you guys is Beauvais responding to a viewer's question where they're asking her, how does she feel about Sutton saying that she noticed red flags with Keely?
Did you think of Garcelle clapping back at you saying that she married for love and not money while in the clubhouse last week?
Oh, Well, look, we both married ugly white guys that cheated on us. So,
Let me just...
for love.
I wasn't impressed with Erica's response. I honestly thought she was going to come harder than that, because to say we both married ugly white men, when I'm just like, no, ma'am. Like, yours was decrepit. Like, the old pictures of Tom looked like he smelled. He looked like he smelled like Ben Gay in an old folks' home, like a dirty, like, thrift store. Like, that's not the same with Garcelle. And mind you, I like white men, but the men they pick ain't the white men I get into, okay? So, I mean, Garcelle's husband isn't really a looker, but he was at least the same age as her. I mean, at least she ain't have to give that man Viagra smoothies and like tug and pull on his you know what. And then for Bose to sit there and be like, I'm going to just drink my drink on that one. No offense, we're not supposed to speak of the dead, but your husband wasn't a looker either, ma'am. So be quiet, But let me play the next clip, and this is the one of the viewer asking Bose how she felt about Sutton saying that she saw red flags with Keely.
What is your thoughts on Sutton saying that Keely was showing a lot of red flags?
Well, I don't know that she can recognize a flag because she doesn't have any. So I'm not quite sure how she could identify whether or not they were red or green or blue or anything.
All right. It's a good drink.
Okay.
I really do hope at the reunion they addresses Bo's feelings towards Sutton, because I'm trying to understand what has Sutton done for Bose to feel this way towards her, because it's now starting to feel like Bose doesn't like Sutton because of Erica and Dorit and partly Kyle. And because I've been trying to be like, okay, did Sutton do something? Because I'm always gonna be like, especially when a black person is involved, I'm on their side until you give me like I reassess the situation. But this whole entire time I've been trying to figure out, like, did Sutton say something on the off season? Well, not the off season, when the cameras were down and we didn't see it. But every time Bose is in an interview, she's never alluded to anything like that. She just keeps saying that, like, I want to understand Sutton. And maybe that's why she don't like her, because she doesn't understand her outburst or like her emotions. But it's like you're unnecessarily like harsh towards her. Like on the after show, Bose, you can tell Bose don't like her. And in the confessionals, you can tell that she don't like her. But on that after show, she really don't like her. And I've been waiting to see if Sutton did something to warrant Bo's attitude towards her, but it's starting to feel like, girl, you don't like her because Dorit and Erica got a problem with her. The same way it feels like you switched up on trying to get to know Kyle because Dorit and Kyle were in a better place. And I don't want to feel that way, because I want to feel like you're a leader, you're a boss, but it's starting to give follower low key. So I'm hoping at the reunion they address that. And while I'm speaking of the reunion, Andy was on his radio show and he talked about the reunion and he talked about Garcelle leaving. So let me play that clip for you.
Serious conversation before she was on Watch What Happens Live. She had a reunion that you will see play out, and I'm not gonna, you'll just watch it, but she didn't. It was not, she ended in a not good place. And she and I were texting and she kept saying, I will speak to you in New York. And so we got together about an hour before her live show. And she and I really hashed things out. And she let me into where, her head was at. And there was not only stuff with the show, but, she's got, the kids are entering their senior year.
Yeah.
And I really respect the fact that she really, it was a very real, it was one of the most real conversations that, that it ended where it ended. But I would say it ended with her saying, I'm going to choose kind of my life.
Love.
And I love it too. And that's why also I was like, look, call us in a year, by the way, if you feel like it, and see where you're at.
Safe to say that the reunion, I don't want the rumors to be true, but like based off of how Bose and Erica were acting on Watch What Happens Live, I feel like the reunion gonna be some nasty work. It's gonna be some nasty work, and I don't think the girls are going to recover. And what I mean by that is I really do feel like Fox Force 5 overplayed their hand. And Bose, you sprinkled in there. You overplayed your hand as well, because coming out with that like PR like statement, just read, girl, I wasn't prepared for y'all to be on my neck like this and to be this disappointed. Because I know people are angry right now, but I see a lot of people making comments about how disappointed they are at her. And sometimes people being disappointed in you hurts way worse than people being mad at you. Because that means they had certain expectations for you and you did not fulfill them.
Thing. Oh. Very, very controversial. Okay. Sutton, she wants to buy her friendships. Oh. You know, it's funny because her and Garcelle, when Garcelle and Sutton, they joined the group at the same time. And Garcelle really did not like Sutton at all. At all. And she, she would kind of poke at her.
But I want to know, how'd you get your money?
What do you mean?
Like, where did all this money come from? Did you inherit money? Did you marry money?
Sutton rubbed her the wrong way. And Sutton was not having that. She wanted Garcelle's affection. Okay. And Garcelle invited Sutton to a fundraiser for Haiti. Mm-hmm. And I remember hearing, that Sutton came and bought I'm going to say something, $1,000 table.
Oh, wow.
And then Garcelle was at Sutton's for New Year's Eve, not too long after. And they became friends. I think Sutton counts on her wallet to get what she wants.
Wow.
Rather than using,
her personality.
Charm, like your heart, your compassion, your care, doing things that would earn like a real,
So she buys, not earns.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't spend enough on this trip then.
No. Well,
she didn't spend anything.
No. Well, when she has to, she will.
So I feel like Dorita's reaching right here, because they couldn't even really pull up any evidence that Sutton and Garcelle had beef like that, or that Garcelle didn't even like Sutton, or vice versa. The only thing that they could show us was when Garcelle asked, "How'd you get your money?" And Sutton was offended. They were able to talk through that and they were done. I feel like Dorita's still bothered by the wallet comment, and now she's trying to paint this narrative that Sutton buys friendships or she leads with her money. But y'all all do that in Hollywood. I'm not saying that Dorita's necessarily wrong about Sutton, but in this context, she's not. And we're not going to act like you women weren't assholes to Garcelle when she got here. I'm not saying Garcelle has been a saint or she's not above reproach or critique, but the only people out of the Fox Force 5 that wanted to get to know Garcelle was Erica. Lisa Rinna was being Lisa Rinna and basically gave Garcelle her you-know-what to kiss. She came in the show with Denise and Garcelle were already cool. Teddy was being annoying Teddy and a follower. Kyle was being Kyle. And like Bo said, the lady was kind of cold towards her. So she was kind of cold towards Garcelle. And then Dorit and Garcelle have never really seen it for each other. And then Sutton was a friend of the show. So who was really in this group that was trying to usher Garcelle in and really get to know her? None of y'all except Erica. And then that flipped season 11. But Erica, girl, like Bose is getting it. But when I tell you the people are on Erica's neck, they are dragging her by them cheap blonde tape-ins. I mean dragging by the way, just the comments, the statements I've been seeing from the people, they don't see it for you, girl. So, and it's not good that there's 2 articles going around on the blogs about you getting sued and owing people money. So we have this one from the U.S. Sun, and I'll link it in the description box below, but it says this: "Can't hide. RHOBH star Erica Jane headed to trial after she's accused of spending $24 million in ex-Tom Girardi's fraudulent funds." It says the reality star denies any wrongdoing, but will be heading to trial to try and clear her name. It goes on to to say Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane hasn't escaped her past with disgraced ex-husband Tom Girardi, as she is headed to trial in a civil lawsuit, the Sun can reveal. Jane, 53, is being sued for more than $24 million in a civil case brought by Girardi's bankruptcy trustee, Eliza Miller. Girl, she ain't got $24 million. I don't know what you think you about to get out of her. It says Girardi was found guilty last year of 4 counts of wire fraud after being accused of embezzling $15 million from clients in a 10-year Ponzi scheme. Miller filed the lawsuit against Jane in September of 2021, claiming she knew that her estranged husband's firm, Girardi Keys, was secretly paying her expenses between 2007 and 2020. Jane has never been charged with a crime, has always denied any wrongdoing, insisted she was left in the dark about her ex's dodgy business dealings. Now the U.S. Sun can reveal to a judge, and I think it's Hagwin, y'all know me and last names, has been assigned to the case, and a trial date will soon be set in district court. It says a source with knowledge of the case says she's never going to settle, adding that the trial will likely take place after June. The trustee argued in court documents that Jane used Girardi's personal American Express credit card to pay for expenses she incurred in pursuit of her entertainment career. In addition, the debtor paid all of the defendant's billing/invoices incurred by the defendants for services obtained of products purchased by Miss Girardi in pursuit of her entertainment/acting, singing, and written career. Miller Legal's team also claims that charges and invoices were paid for by Erica's ex and recorded on his books and records as advances and loans, and the amount exceeds over $24 million. It goes on to say the trustee contends that Miss Erica Jane knowingly and willingly participated in Mr. Girardi's criminal enterprise, and the money used to pay her business expenses were monies from that criminal enterprise, the doc says. Miller is suing Jane along with her business, EJ Global LLC, a limited liability company, and Pretty Mess Inc., a corporation. Jane's legal teams hit back that the payments were booked and accounted for solely as an alleged debt for EJ Global, not an individual liability or debt for the reality star. They further claimed that no promissory note exists to memorialize the alleged debt owing to Girardi Keys by EJ Global LLC, and Girardi Keys was fully capable of preparing such a written memorialization of EJ Global's LLC alleged debt obligations, but never did so. The trustees above reference accusations that Miss Girardi knowingly and willingly participated in a criminal enterprise are false, not supported by any evidence whatsoever, maliciously, and should be stricken. Not even the federal prosecutor in Mr. Girardi's recent criminal trial, where neither side called Ms. Girardi as a witness, alleged that Mrs. Girardi did anything wrong at the time, including in connection with Girardi Keys' payment of EJ Global LLC expenses. They added that Erica's only mistake was trusting her then husband, a obstinately successful and sophisticated attorney. It goes on to say court documents show a small witness list for both sides, including Miller and Jane, while experts will be disclosed in the coming weeks. And so the rest of it is just talking about what Tom was found guilty for. But Erica ain't got $24 million. And girl, if they do have proof that you legit knew you were taking fraudulent money, Erica, you are in danger, bro. You are in danger. And I'm not going to lie, I always kind of thought Erica knew to a certain extent. I don't think she knew everything, but I do feel like her antennas kind of popped up 1 or 2 times. And I'm just like, girl. And what's crazy is while I was scrolling mindlessly on Instagram, I come across Bravo Snark side, and I thought that they were posting about the article I just read for you guys. This is another case that Erica is in. And I said, she got another case? So shouts out to Bravo Snark side. They reposted a tweet from Ronald Richards. This man has been on Erica's neck since the Tom case started. He has not let up on her. Okay, he has not let up on her, but this is what he posted on Twitter. And they also attached the court documents. Now, I can't really make out the court documents, especially the last page, but I'll read what the tweet says. It says, Erica Jane is facing a default in Marco Margaritas Florida case. He is the other founder of Marco. Christopher Paiseles is suing her in California. This arises out of the failed Secret Service case against Paiseles. Her widely reported benefactor, attorney Jim Wilkes, is representing her and her employees/agents personally. He did not file his motion to dismiss correctly and failed to show up for the case management conference. The court struck the motion, is allowing a default to be taken. Erica Jane is now in hot water now and is on the verge of losing this lawsuit. Evans Boger, her LA lawyer, was not paid for this 1MO to save some money, as Jim is licensed in Florida. Can't wait to see what the plaintiff does here. So basically what they're saying is the guy didn't properly file the right paperwork, and now it is possibly a default. And if he wins his case, it's more than likely that Chris is going to win his. Now, if you don't know the whole thing with Marco, basically when the whole situation was going down with Tom, I don't remember exactly, so I'm paraphrasing from what I remember when I watched the Housewife and the Hustler documentary. But basically, it sounds like they lied on Christopher. He got caught up and sent to jail. While he was in jail, his family members passed away. Like, he lost his business, his design business. And I only knew a lot about Marco because I am a Drag Race fan. And I remember listening to a podcast. I think it's the podcast with Alaska and Willem went off on Erica. Like Willem was pissed and was just calling her all anything but a child of God, because what she did really messed up Marco's life. So I feel like if the default works in Florida and California, it's a wrap for Erica. And girl, why are you not vetting your attorneys? So the court documents basically said like he didn't file it correctly. This is crazy. And we didn't even know Erica was going through this. That's how you know this show, like, y'all don't really give us what we really want to hear about, which is this court case. I didn't need to see you redecorate your house. I want to know about this, ma'am. And so the last thing we're going to talk about before we get into the review is Lisa Rinna. Because I said this in my in the Spicy Corner video that Lisa Rinna might be coming back. Lisa Rinna might be coming back, and shouts out to All True Tea. They posted a clip of her on that show, Pass the Puss, where she basically said she would be cool with filming with Bose, Kyle, Erica, and Dorit, and everybody else doesn't matter. Y'all, if Lisa Rinna comes back on this show, my conspiracy theory would have been right, okay? But let me play that clip.
Would you rank who on the current Beverly Hills Housewives who you'd want to film with the most to the least?
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean,
Erica, yeah,
Erica, Dorit, and Kyle. I would like to film with that Boz. I like her from what I haven't watched the show since I left.
You haven't?
Not 1 second, except for clips.
Okay.
I have heard the girls love her.
Yeah, she's great.
They love her.
She's great.
So I would want to work with her, and then the rest I wouldn't need to work with.
So let's talk about it. So it's still the same day. I got hungry, went and made me something to eat. Unfortunately, I was using the red Goya paste. I'm probably saying that wrong. They use it in a lot of Asian dishes. I was making this ramen dish, which turned out really good, by the way. But unfortunately, I was not paying attention because the blowback, like my shirt was covered in like stains. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to change this. So let's talk about this episode. But that's why my shirt is different. So the episode opens up where it left off. And it's the aftermath of the argument that happened between Sutton, Dorit, and Erica. And they're still on the catamaran. you see Erica, Kyle, and Dorit get into the water. Mind you, teach your kids how to swim, like between the first and third grade. That's when I learned how to swim at the YMCA. And legit, it kind of is like riding a bike. You never really forget. And I haven't been in a pool in a long time, but I know for a fact if I get into a pool, I can swim, because I'd have been in that water like Ariel, okay? Part of that world. That would have been me just in the ocean, swimming, okay? So, like, teach your kids how to swim. Plus, I need to book me a flight to St. Lucia because every time they do, like, an aerial shot of the area, it's gorgeous. That place is beautiful. So, everybody else is trying to process. Really, it's just Jennifer Tilly and Sutton, and then Beauvais and Garcelle are trying to process what happened. The other three are in the ocean, really just having a good time, not giving a hell. And so Beauvais is like, no, because I thought it was funny when Garcelle said if she go down, pertaining to Erica being in the water, because she got in first, she was like, you gonna go get her? And someone pulls her down, and Beauvais was like, girl, not with this hair. I would sink to the bottom. I said, at least you know that hair is heavy, okay? I also still don't get why she got them beauty supply earrings in her hair. I don't get it. Like, even for aesthetic reasons, it doesn't make sense. Side note, Beauvais' outfit probably would have looked cute with some cutoff shorts if she was going to a Freaknik party. She would have ate that up. They would have thought she was bad. Like, I could see that. But, and then if she put on, like, a baseball jersey button, like, keeping it open, that would have been an outfit. That would have been an outfit. Okay. But, Beauvais is trying to ask Garcelle, so what do we do now that we have two people in the group that are on ice with each other? And Garcelle pretty much said nothing. And she was like, really? And she was like, yeah. She was like, let them figure it out. Let it be what it is. And I'm with Garcelle. Like, don't force them to try to fix it. Like, everyone keeps trying to tell them to, like, talk to each other. They keep trying to talk to each other. It just comes to the point where Sutton and Dorit just don't see it for each other. And if y'all can just coexist in the group and not be friends, then that's fine. Just stop fighting with each other because we tired, okay? We tired. So Jennifer Tilly goes to check up on Sutton because Sutton is at the back of the boat trying to, like, pull it together. She trying to pull it together. She breathing hard. She like... these bitches is getting on my nerves. Like, she trying. And Jennifer gives her something to drink, like some water. And she was like, girl, you all right? And Sutton was like, I did not know Satan was going to be on the boat with us, okay? And I said, yeah, that was a kind of a lot. So then Jennifer is just like, that was chaotic. And I'd have been Jennifer laughing like, yeah, that was chaotic. And so she likens what she saw as foxes and dogs. And if you've seen dogs go fox hunting, and if you're an animal lover, don't look it up. It is pretty vicious. Like, when people use dogs to go fox hunting, doe hunting, or rabbit hunting, the dogs really like act like a pack. And when they find that animal, it's over. It is over. It's like life or death. Like, the animals be fighting for their lives from a pack of dogs. So she was just like, it's just like everyone was coming at you. That's a lot. And she was like, yeah. And so then Jennifer Tilly said, she was like, I'm not surprised that Erica is criticizing Sutton, which tells me she knows that Sutton does have some fault in this. And she knows her friend, like when she called her mercurial. And I thought maybe she didn't do that, but then I saw on the after show that she said it to Sutton's face. I think Sutton is able to receive it from Jennifer Tilly because she knows Jennifer Tilly is really her friend and likes her. And she knows, and Jennifer Tilly knows Sutton is insecure. She knows Sutton is prone to emotional outbursts. She knows her friend, but she knows her friend is also not a bad person. When Sutton is being critiqued by Erica and Dorit, she's not able to receive it because she believes these women truly believe that she is a terrible human being. When she says, y'all criticize and act like I do everything wrong, like nothing I do is right, like y'all always are telling me what I'm doing wrong. And at some point, you stop listening to those people, even if they have valid critiques of your behavior. Like, I'm not saying Sutton is some saint or some angel and her hands aren't dirty. Sutton has put her foot in her mouth. Sutton has gone a touch too far with certain people where it's like, girl, if you want to be cool with them, why are you saying these things? But it's just like constantly having people tell you what you do wrong, even though you're coming with good intentions. Eventually you tune those people out because it's like nothing you're saying to me is valid because you don't see what I do as ever being good, even if I mean well towards you. So I think that's why she's having a hard time listening to Erica and Dorit. So what's it called? Jennifer basically says, girl, I did not know all these girls didn't like you. And I think Sutton knows they don't like her. But because of the childhood trauma RHOBH gave her and her auditioning for her mom's love and approval, Sutton is prone to toxic relationships, even in friendships where she thinks she has to audition for these people to like her. Like, that's basically what it is. Sutton knows them people don't like her, but Sutton, since she was a child, has been trying to get her mom to like her. And I think Sutton genuinely needs to go to therapy. And honestly, with Garcelle not being on this show anymore, girl, I would leave. Like, I don't know if it's going to be open season on you, but it probably is. And I don't think if Jennifer Tilly stays that she is going to want to deal with all of this all the time. I really think, like, you should be like Garcelle and just be like, I'm good on y'all. Like, you still have garnered a fan base where the people will still go to the Sutton store and still buy from you. You'll still probably be invited to BravoCon and be invited on the after show and stuff like that, or Watch What Happens Live. But, like, yeah, girl, I would not spend my time around these women. I wouldn't do it, especially if I know I'm going to be by myself the entire season fighting for my life. Yeah, that's dead. That's dead. The catamaran, and everyone's going back to their room because it's Dorit and Erica's birthday, so they're all getting ready for dinner. And you see Bose talking to her assistant, being like, morale is low, but I'm hoping that we can pull the girls back together. You see Sutton and Jennifer Tilly having a conversation where Jennifer Tilly is like, are you okay? And Sutton is just like, as long as I stay away from the two people that think I'm just an awful, terrible person, then I'm okay. She's like, I'm going to stay away from the person that thinks I attack women and another person that thinks I'm a terrible person when I know I'm not. And it flashes to Erica and Dorit getting ready with their makeup. You then see Erica talking to her makeup artist, and the makeup artist is asking her, how are you going to feel when you see Sutton? And she's just kind of like, I'm not trying to come at her, but I just feel like I'm voicing my grievances and my opinions, and I feel like a lot of the other ladies feel the same way too. So then Erica is in her confessional bringing up again about Sutton and this whole sisterhood situation where she's like, you were the one that said we can bring our grievances to the table. And I wish Sutton would have never did the whole sisterhood thing with them, because the way that they have been throwing that back in her face this entire season, girl, these people are not your sisters. They are not the sisterhood you want to be a part of. They are your co-workers. Learn from this, okay? So then Erica says, I don't have any ill will towards Sutton. And I was like, you could have fooled me. You could have fooled me. So then we go back to Jennifer Tilly and Sutton. And Jennifer basically says, it feels like this was a planned effort. She was like, because Erica says something, and they show Erica saying, oftentimes you are super critical of women when they are experiencing the worst moment in their life. And I'm paraphrasing. And you pose as a friend, but often show up as an enemy. And then you have Dorit chiming in saying, you can be very mean-spirited, like you get in those types of moods. So Jennifer is like, yeah, it does kind of feel like it was a coordinated effort to come at you on that boat. And then she talks about in her confessional, it feels like there's a lot of alliances in this group. And I said, yeah, girl, I feel like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the most cliquish franchise. At least when you look at other franchises, there are cliques amongst a larger group. That's common to me. Like, if you got a group of like 7 people, I promise you, like 3 people are going to be locked in like this. 2 people are going to be locked in like this, but everyone still has like a good time. And maybe you might have one person that goes between the groups, or 2 people that do, like in a big group, there are people that get closer to each other. But in this group, you can definitely tell like who is clicked up and who is going to fight for who, because Erica, Kyle, and Dorit are still the Fox Force 5. They are. Because the fact that we found out that Kyle was texting PK and PK wasn't even talking to Dorit, and they now cool all of a sudden, that's an alliance, because ain't no way. Ain't no way. And they have been really going at each other to now we're swimming together. We're hugging on each other. We're loving on each other. Like, that's an alliance right there. Because y'all really didn't even talk out your issues for real. Because Kyle really didn't want to be that open with you. And then you have Bose, Dorit, and Erica. That's an alliance because now they formed a friendship. Just like Sutton and Garcelle are an alliance because they have a friendship. And Jennifer Tilly, you a part of that because the other girls ain't clicked up with you yet. And then you got Kathy who kind of like roams between the two, but she really has alliance or allegiance to her sister. So yeah, this group is hella cliquish. So we then see Sutton go into Garcelle's room, and Garcelle's getting her hair and makeup done, and Garcelle's like, I want to talk to you about what happened earlier today. And Sutton is like, okay, let's talk about it. She was like, Kyle didn't stand up for you. And Sutton starts to get emotional. She was like, I thought after Augusta we would not be back in this place. And she was like, to be set back with Kyle, that's a lot for me right now. So she starts tearing up, and she's like, it's been hard being in this group for the past like couple of years. Like it feels like they want to break me. So they do a whole entire montage of everybody coming at Sutton. And then they also show a montage of Sutton not in her best light coming at the ladies. So it's like they give it to her, she gives it to them, but she's just like, they never apologize to me. And I will say this, it is always Sutton apologizing to them and trying to move forward first versus them coming and reaching out to apologize to her. It always feels like it's like they have to be pushed to apologize to Sutton, where Sutton will realize like, okay, maybe I went too far, or she just wants to be cool with the women and she'll apologize. So she's just like, you know what, I'm done. I don't think I'm going. So she tries to remove her mic pack, and she's getting emotional. And you see what's her name? Garcelle in her confessional, where she was like, I'm not saying Sutton is a saint, but oftentimes when you back someone in a corner or make her angry, she lashes out. And I was like, yeah, because they be backing that lady in a corner. Like, my thing is like, I just don't think Sutton is as horrible as they try to make her seem. I feel like a lot of the women on this show are extremely hypocritical, because for Erica to say that Sutton attacks people at their worst, and season 9, what's her name? Lisa Vanderpump had just lost her brother to him unaliving himself, and then somebody else in her family passed away, and y'all were on that lady's neck the entire season to the point where she decided like, I don't need this. You can never say that Sutton is the only person that is super critical or attacks people when they're down. Especially the way that y'all also came at Denise. Y'all all were on Denise's neck trying to out her and everything. Y'all brought Brandy Glanville on here to let us know they was munching on each other's boxes. So it's like, y'all can say that about Sutton, but do you say that about yourself? Because y'all have exhibited the same behavior. Tilly goes into Garcelle's room because she just seen Sutton run across her the living room to her room, being like, girl, I'm not doing this, ripping off her mic pack and everything. And she's like, girl, what happened? And Garcelle basically explains to her about their conversation, and Jennifer ends up saying like, Sutton really wants to be friends with Kyle. And Garcelle's like, see, I'm not the only one that sees it, okay? So Garcelle says, but I told her Kyle won't defend her, and I don't get why she doesn't understand that. And what's interesting is, in the after show, Kyle does admit that she's friends with Sutton. I think that's why Sutton was so gleeful when Kyle stood up for her, because I really do feel like they've had off-camera conversations and really got to a point where they kind of got close enough for Sutton to say, you've already lost one sister, don't lose another one. Like, if you're close enough to say that, that means y'all have shared a lot with each other, which when Sutton said that, I said, ooh, girl, you're not coming back from that one. And I don't think Sutton really understands that. I think Sutton thought that bringing Kyle to Augusta for her to see her life, to see like what she went through with her father, to see how her mother treats her and their relationship, and how they like kind of came together. I think she genuinely thought that, okay, Kyle's going to see where I'm coming from. She's going to see my upbringing. We're going to bond. We're going to connect. And we're going to start being the way we used to be. Or she's going to start supporting me out in the open. And that didn't happen. And I think I think it's starting to seep in somewhat that she's realizing that Kyle will never give her what she wants. And it is sad because I think Sutton, like I said earlier, for the past 53 years has been conditioned and taught that you have to audition for people to love you or people to like you. Like, she has grown up with a mother that loves her but does not like her. And that has to be a very hollow feeling to know that you are loved by a parent, but they don't really, it only goes but so far. They're not interested in getting to know you. They don't want to know the little things that about you, like what's your favorite TV show, like what's your favorite music genre, or like you have really like weird quirks and kicks and all of that stuff. Like, RHOBH doesn't strike me as a parent that cares about that stuff. And I think Sutton is vying for Kyle's affection because Kyle is the HBIC. She is the leader of the cool girls clique. And she's like, you know, I came in, me and her became friends, because Kyle will say on the after show that they're friends, but we're only friends to a certain extent. And Sutton wants to be more. But Sutton also has to understand that, like, you can't force anybody to like you or love you. No matter how much you try to help, lend yourself to them, flaunt your money, like, if they don't like you, girl, and they don't see it for you, they don't see it for you. And you have to just accept that. You know, you just got to accept it. So the rest of the girls go to Kyle and Kathy's room. They're all piling in, and they're like, girls, so where's Sutton? And they're looking around, and Jennifer Tilly said, well, there's a little glitch in the matrix, okay? And they're like, so what is it? And she was just like, Sutton kind of feels like she was ganged up on. Erica's in her confessional being like, all I did was ask questions the same way she asked questions about my life. And then they run it back about how Sutton asked, you know, Erica questions about her lawsuit and everything. So Erica's just like, I asked you questions, so I don't even understand what the problem is. And I said, well, now, okay. So Jennifer Tilly said she feels sort of like it was a coordinated group effort. Now, this is where I have to say, pause, Jennifer. I don't think she said that. You said that. Even when we saw y'all getting y'all makeup done, Sutton didn't even give you a response. She may feel that way, but she didn't express it to you on camera. So it just kind of feels like you feel this way, but you know your friend enough to know that's probably how she feels. So next thing you know, you see like them being like, girl, what? So then Erica's mad now because she was like, no, girl, bottom line, I said it to your face. It wasn't a coordinated effort. So now Erica's calling Dorit out there to be like, girl, why does Sutton think that we ganged up on her or we planned to gang up on her? And so Dorit's like, that's not the case. Like, that wasn't, like, we were not ganging up on her. Like, that wasn't a planned effort. So we see Sutton getting her makeup done. She's bewildered, wilting like a rose. She was like, you know, I've been beaten up all day. I don't want it no more. So then you hear Dorit say in her confessional, Sutton can dish it, but she can't take it. Heaven forbid we hold a mirror to her face. It's actually effing nauseating. And it's like, coming from you, I don't want to hear it, Dorit. I don't. I think this cast is so hypocritical when they critique Sutton because they were nasty ass bitches for a good couple of seasons. The way they ganged up on Lisa Vanderpump, the way that Lisa Rinna was coming at Yolanda, and I didn't even really like Yolanda. Like the way that Erica attacked Eileen about her son, her grown son in Japan, the way that Dorit used to go off on Erica, the way Dorit and PK slut shamed Erica because they could see her hoo-ha, how her child end up saying, you're a bad guy. That's what Jagger said to her. Like Kyle, the way Kyle has been nasty to people. Like, to act like Sutton is just this awful person, it just doesn't track for me. It just doesn't. And like I keep saying, Sutton isn't a saint. She's not. Sutton has put her foot in her mouth. Sutton has said things where I'm like, girl, if you're not going to stand in it, keep it to yourself. Write it in your diary. But for them to act like Sutton is just like, oh my gosh, she's just so horrible and she's this and she's that. When we've seen y'all be nasty season after season after season, I can't take what you're saying. I can't. I can't. So The ladies keep talking, and then Garcelle ends up saying, honestly, she wants blind loyalty from you, Kyle. So Kyle's like, girl, what? From me, she was like, you and Garcelle, she ends up saying, you and Jennifer Tilly are her closest friends, and none of y'all stood up for her. And she said that in her confessional. And I'm supposed to be the one to stand up for her. She said, girl, that's a joke, and I'm not dealing with this. I'm not. Girl, I'm ready to go eat. Let's go eat. Let's go eat. And Kyle basically says, I didn't stand up for Sutton because of what she did to me last year. Because I feel like what Erica said is true. When somebody's going through something, Sutton does attack them at their worst. We see the ladies leave the villa because they're like, girl, we're going to be late for our dinner reservations. We actually see Avi send Sutton out on her way. And he's like, go have fun. She's like, you know what? I got a good outfit. I'm not going to let these women break me. Like, I'm going to have a good time. So we see the women get to the restaurant and they have like a vendor's fair kind of set up with different like jewelry. It looked like incense and like some clothes and things of that nature. So all the girls are like, oh my gosh, this is great. And they're having a fun time. You then see Sutton get there and Jennifer Tilly tells her, girl, I told them that you were upset and that you felt like it might have been like a coordinated effort that they attacked you. And Sutton said, girl, why would you tell them that? And Jennifer's like, well, girl, they was coming. They all looked at me. The bitches was scaring me. You know, they all asking me what's going on. So I just told them the truth. So then you see Kyle walk up on Sutton and be like, I heard that you were upset and you were upset that I didn't defend you. And so Sutton is like, well, do you think that I am someone that kicks women when they're at their lowest? Like, do you? Like, do you feel that way? Do you? And, you know, Sutton does that whole repeating thing. And I can't really knock Sutton because I do it too. But, like, the whole, like, name them. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And now she's doing it to Kyle, like, do you feel that way? Do you feel that way? And Kyle's like, don't do that. And so Kyle said, well, yeah, because of what happened last year. And she's like, we've gotten over that. But yeah, like, I do feel like you do kick women when they're at their lowest. And then you have Kyle in her confessional being like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I said, oh my gosh. So then you see Kathy come up on Sutton and she's like rubbing her arm. And she's like, are you okay? And Sutton's like, can y'all just, I don't want to do this. So she's getting emotional. And Kyle basically says that, like, Sutton acts like she's the only person that gets ganged up on. And because Kyle's like, we've all gotten beaten by the group. And Sutton is like, no, you haven't. And I agree with Sutton. I don't think I've ever seen anybody really tear into Kyle or multiple people do it at the same time. She's had, like, beef with people, but I've never seen it be, like, 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 when it comes to Kyle. So Sutton is like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about, and don't try to make this moment my moment about you, okay? So, like I said, Kathy came up on her, and she's like, I don't want to talk about this. Kathy is going through it. I guess Kathy is still, I thought menopause stopped after your 60s, or does it begin in your 60s? Because I thought menopause happened in your 50s. Or is that early menopause? I don't know. I am nowhere near that age, okay? So I don't know. But Kathy is, she looked like she hot. She got on a t-shirt and some shorts. Like, she burning up. She got a towel around her neck. I said, oh, you got to be hot. And it's humid. I know you over it. So Kathy's like, so how, like, you know, you good? And she's like, I'm not, girl. Can I just be a Barbie? Can I just be a Barbie and not think and just buy stuff? And they panned the camera to Dorit, and I said, ooh, girl. And she's like, okay. She was like, can I just be a Barbie and not act like I don't have a 140 IQ? Like, I just want to be a Barbie. So here's the thing. Miss Sutton, you're not a Barbie. You're a Polly Pocket. Shouts out to Nikki Star TV, because she used to call, I think she still does, when she does her review, she calls Sutton Polly Pocket. Sweetheart, you're a Polly Pocket, and you're trying to become friends with Barbies and Bratz dolls. Bose and Erica, Bratz dolls. Kyle and Dorit, Barbies. You know, Garcelle gives Naturalista doll. What's her name? Jennifer Tilly gives like Rainbow High, Monster High vibes. Like fabulous, but different and quirky and kooky. I don't know what Kathy gives me. I don't know, a marionette doll. I don't know. But I'm just like, you're a Polly Pocket. Polly Pocket still made a name for herself, that brand has, but it's not a Bratz doll. It's not a Barbie, sis. And I wish Sutton would just sit in being who she is, because when you sit in who you are, no matter what anybody says to you can really shake you. And I think Sutton thought, well, you know, I have my money, I have my status, like I rub shoulders with the best of them. Surely these ladies are going to welcome me in. And when Sutton came in season 10, I think she thought she was already, what's the word? Established and a part of the clique, because she was brought into the group by Lisa Rinna. But then when season 11 happened, the switch up happened because they got rid of Teddy. So Sutton took Teddy's spot, and you messed up Fox Force 5. So you lost people that, like, they lost people because of you. And I wish she would just realize, like, girl, they're never going to see it for you. Even the fans that hate Sutton, I genuinely believe this. If Sutton was more aesthetically pleasing, y'all would not be giving her this much heat. But because Sutton is not really the beauty standard, I mean, she white, but like she's white and she looks 53. She looks older. Like I don't even say older. She looks her age compared to Erica, who's 53 and who's been getting plastic surgery since she was like in her like 20s and 30s. Like Erica in that carnival outfit versus Sutton both look great to me, but two different 53s. But if Sutton looked like Erica and was behaving the way that she was behaving, I don't think people would be as harsh to her as they are, even the women in the group. Because I believe even if Sutton never questioned Erica about her lawsuit and she never had back and forth with Dorit or Kyle, they still would not be that receptive towards her because she doesn't fit their beauty standard and their aesthetic. Like I said, she Polly Pocket. They Bratz dolls and Barbies. She not that girl. She's not going to fit into the clique. And I think Sutton really thought she had a way in, but season 10, she fumbled. And I didn't really even like Sutton season 10, but like I could see that she thought she was already a part of the group. And it's like, girl, you got too comfortable with women you don't truly know. Just because you got introduced to the group by way of Lisa Rinna doesn't mean you were a part of the clique. And I think she's been vying to get in there, and it doesn't work. And I think that really bothers her, like, tremendously. But you can't make me not believe if Sutton was more attractive, that these women would not take everything she said to heart, and they wouldn't be so quick to argue with her or try to, like, beat up on her all the time, fans included. So we see Bose and Kyle have a conversation where Bose is like, how is Sutton? And Kyle is just like, she don't want to talk about it. And Bose is like, girl, I don't know how she blows up and then wants to create rules on how we are supposed to move. And I'm like, well, Bose, you want to have a good dinner. Don't press the lady. You keep talking about how you want to have a fun time. Don't question her. So then Kathy goes to the bathroom because she having a hot flash. She pee on herself, comes back in a muumuu. They got her bags of ice. So then they're sitting down at the table and they're asking Garcelle, is she dating? She was like, I'm not really on the apps, but if I meet a guy at Whole Foods or if somebody sets me up on a date, I'm good to go. So then Garcelle's like, y'all want to do impersonations? So you see Kyle impersonate Jennifer Tilly. It was funny. It was pretty much spot on. Garcelle impersonates Erica in her confessional, pretty much spot on. And then Jennifer Tilly impersonates Sutton. And then next thing you know, Dorit and Erica jump on Sutton and start mocking her, being like, nobody's going to talk like that. Like, she was like, you're not going to mock me. You're not going to talk like that. And then Sutton jumps in. She was like, I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. So now they going back and forth. And you have Kyle saying Sutton just couldn't take a joke. She had to get defensive. And I'm like, what did y'all expect? The two people that she just got into a screaming match with are now impersonating her, and they're not being really playful about it. They're mocking her. And I'm going to let you know this. Don't ever embarrass me. Because when I tell you, that is one way to see the nastiness come out of me. and it's not pretty. Because the moment they would have did that, if I was Sutton, I would have started reenacting somebody trying to rob me at gunpoint to hurt. I would have broke Dorit down. Then I would have started crying about being broke, living in a 3-bedroom house and wanting to be back with my old decrepit husband who's a money-grubbing thief. Like, when I tell you I've been in there like I'm so poor. I miss my mansion. I stole those diamonds. They were from victims. That would have been me at that table. I would have made it so uncomfortably awkward at that table. They would have wanted to put hands on me. Because what we not about to do is embarrass me. I do not, when I tell you I do not like being embarrassed, I do not like being embarrassed. And I promise you that is the quickest way to see me get nasty. And you like, and be very hateful towards somebody. Like, I don't like that stuff. Part of me wishes Sutton would have just like not even engaged with it and just rolled with it. But I'm just telling y'all, I wouldn't have been like, I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. No, it really would have been like, you know, guys, I was going grocery shopping and 3 men came up behind me and they robbed me out of my purse and things. You know, my business is struggling. I'm being sued, okay? Because I steal. That would have been me. I would have made that table so uncomfortable. Because if you want to embarrass me, everybody about to get embarrassed at this fucking table. Not just Leah. That would have been my energy. The next day, and the ladies break off into like, 3 groups. The only person that wasn't in a group was Kathy, and they lingered on her for so long. She was just putting on face cream. And I was like, I don't need to watch this lady put on face cream doing her skin regimen. I don't need to see that. So we see, what's her name? Bose and Sutton go make chocolate. And Bose says something talking about, well, you know, I want to go on this excursion with Sutton because I feel like Sutton has it in her mind that I'm Team Dorit. No, she doesn't. You have shown that you're Team Dorit. So what we talking about? Like, don't try to gaslight nobody. Like, girl, your actions show that you're Team Dorit, okay? So they're making chocolate. I thought it was funny when Sutton bit into butter. She thought it was white chocolate. I said, Sutton, you didn't smell it? Because white chocolate has a smell, ma'am. So then we get off of their scene for a minute, and we see we see Kyle, Jennifer Tilly, and Garcelle. They're on the beach, you know, ordering fish tacos, pot stickers or whatever, and getting margaritas and pina coladas. And so they're sitting down and they're asking Kyle, so have you posted a thirst trap yet? And she was like, no, I haven't really been feeling very thirsty. Then Jennifer Tilly says, you know, I post my pictures. I finally got the hang of Instagram. I realized to get more likes, you got to show titties. And one of her pictures, the pictures that she used, has gotten up to 100,000 likes. I said, come on, Jennifer. So while they're sitting there, Kyle basically says, I want to talk to y'all about something, but I want y'all to be like open about it. We all are friends with Sutton, and y'all are like closer to Sutton than I am. But she's just like, I think it's kind of weird that y'all expect so much out of me. So then basically, Garcelle says, I think what we're saying is like there's a pattern on where you like stay silent because in Sutton's story, you're the hero. And Kyle's like, girl, what? And she was like, why am I that? And she's like, girl, that's a question you have to ask Sutton. I don't know why she like that. And so Garcelle is like, you know, at the end of the day, Sutton chose Kyle the other night. And that's something that I have to contend with our relationship. I don't know if it's like, if we ever going like, if this is going to change our relationship or if we're ever going to be the same. And so she's just like, I don't understand that. I don't understand it. And they were like, well, you need to talk to Sutton. So then they start talking about the Mauricio of it all. And Garcelle's like, well, have you made any decisions? And Kyle's like, well, I'm not ready to like rush into divorce. And you know, I'm not ready to do that, you know? And so then Jennifer Tilly starts talking about how, like, you know, I have a lot of friends that have gone through divorce from very powerful men, you know, Sutton has and other people. She said, before I divorced my husband, you know, he had a bank account, or we had a bank account that had $700,000 in it. And he basically just was like, you know, I'll give you $350,000. And my friends were like, girl, you need to lawyer up. And she was like, you know, I loved my husband until the day he died. Like, we were good friends and things of that nature. But when they get with their lawyers start to suggest things because they're doing what's best, the best interest of their client. So I'm glad I talked to my friends, because when I did, it benefited me. So Kyle was like, so did you get you got more than $350,000? She said, girl, I got the Simpsons. I said, come on, Jennifer. And so she was like, girl, the Simpsons money is how I live my lifestyle. She said, that's what I buy my diamonds with, girl. My Chucky money is for my snacks. I said, yes, that Chucky money is for your snacks. I was like, Kyle, I would hope that Mauricio isn't a butthole to you, but like, you never know. And what Jennifer is saying is true. Like, girl, the lawyers are going to do what's in the best interest of their client once this relationship is dissolved. And if it's true that you and Mauricio have amassed, or collectively have amassed, over $100 million together with the agency, and you are with him from the ground up, you deserve half. I don't know why you think he just gonna willingly give you half. Like, he may say that, but girl, that don't mean nothing when you get in that courtroom. You better wake up. Listen, everyone is telling you this. Everyone is telling you this. Garcelle has said it. Sutton has said it. Jennifer Tilly has said it. Your sister has said it. I bet you Erica has told you this. Even Bose, the only person that I don't think has told you that is Dorit, because she don't know what she doing. But y'all need to figure it. Wake up. Wake it up. So then we go back to Bose and Sutton, and they're sitting down after they made chocolate, and Bose is like, so how are you? And I wish this was something that was done sooner in the season, because this should have been done sooner in the season. If Bose wants to say that she gets everybody's perspective and all that stuff, get everybody's perspective, ma'am. So Sutton is like, well, if I tell you everything, then like, you really wouldn't know my opinion. So she just says, pretty much, she was like, no, I think she said, it's like, I guess something that Jackie Kennedy says, it's like, if I told you my thoughts, they really wouldn't be my thoughts anymore. And I was like, I've never heard that phrase, but okay. So she says, if she felt blindsided by Erica. Well, Bose says, well, Erica's been talking about this for a while, and they show a montage where Bose is talking to Erica and Dorit when they had that sit down when the other ladies were in Augusta, where Bose is like, well, I've seen her attack Dorit, and then Erica's like, well, she's attacked me, she's attacked Kyle, she's like, she harms everybody. And then they go back to when she was like, girl, she came at me at the worst point in my life. And so Bose is like, I think it's good that she got that out. And so Sutton is like, you don't know the full picture, because I wasn't the only one asking questions, and I wasn't the only one trying to understand her situation with Tom. Erica and Kyle and their husbands were making fun of her, and they flash back to when they were making fun of her story that she said about that man flipping over a car in Pasadena and it was snowing. This sit down to me was pointless, because Bose doesn't want to know Sutton's side. I think she only did that for the optics, because I feel as though she already is on Erica and Dorit's side. She doesn't really care to know Sutton's side. So Sutton ends up saying, I realized I had a come to Jesus moment, that I need to take care of myself, And she also says, they, in her confessional, they have a history of like being mean and harsh to each other, but coming together. She was like, there seems to be like this triple and double standard to where they can be so mean and nasty to each other, but still have each other's back, and nobody else is a part of that. So then she ends up saying that like, I had a come to Jesus moment where I realized I had to take care of myself. And then she says, it must be hard for them to look at me and the way that my life is going. And it is. I know that people feel like, what do they have to be jealous of Sutton? But it's Sutton's money. Dorit, especially Erica, is mad that her life did not turn out the way that she wanted to be, and that even though she married a rich old man where she had to feed him Viagra to get it up, and she had to rub that pasty demon skin, she didn't get nothing out of it. She's still in legal trouble, hefty legal trouble because of him. And here comes Miss Sutton, Miss Polly Pocket herself, living her life, and she got out the right way from her marriage. Now, my thing about Sutton is, if you make these types of comments, you got to stay in it instead of being so taken aback when they come at your neck. So then Bose is like, it kind of makes it seem like you're saying that you're up here. She's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it must be hard to see me have everything that they want. I said, girl, that's basically what you saying, but okay. So then when we see Erica and what's her name, and Dorit, they basically say that they don't think Sutton is a horrible person, but Sutton is not consistent. They feel like she's not consistently a mean person or a bitch, but like they can't trust how she moves. It just feels like she's always trying to suck the happiness out of everybody. So then Erica now has on her like Billy Badass shtick where she was like, I want to know who thinks that we would like concoct a plan against her. It's not unfathomable, girl. You were clicked up all the time. And then for Dorit to say at the table when they were having the birthday party, I think Sutton thinks we colluded against her because she does that stuff. There was no evidence of us seeing Sutton collude against anybody. Like if they had evidence of Sutton colluding against people, we would see it. We know y'all like to gang up on people. Y'all did it for several seasons. We've just seen Sutton just ask questions. May not be at the right time, but she just be asking questions. Time for the last dinner. It's carnival theme. Erica's body looked amazing. Okay. She looked amazing. Okay. The only thing I didn't like was her headpiece. It looked too big. I even like Jennifer Tilly's outfit. I just wish she had different wings. I like Garcelle's orange outfit. The same thing with her. Her headpiece seemed like it was too big. Kathy said, y'all not about to get me in none of that. So she wore a muumuu and wings. I said, okay, Kathy. Okay. Sutton even looked nice in her outfit. Her headpiece was too big too, in my opinion. Not Garcelle. Bose's body, T, girl. That body is T. Okay. I was happy to see that Sutton actually like participated. She got on her outfit. They're all waiting. Then Kyle comes. And the thing is that like Dorit said, they miscalculated how big those wings were going to be for them to sit down. Cause they were sitting down. You had one of the workers like pulling Kyle backwards so he could help her sit down. It was hilarious. So they're all sitting down, laughing, taking drinks. And then next thing you know, Erica was like, I have a question. And I was like, here we go, girl. It's the last night. Like Jennifer too said, can we just have fun? Like, aren't we supposed to leave with good spirits? So she said, I heard that Sutton felt like it was a planned attack on the boat. But when I spoke to Sutton says that she didn't say that. So that either came from you, and they pointed to Jennifer Tilly, or you, Garcelle. And she was like, and then Erica was like, it wasn't a planned attack. And I was like, Erica really thinks she that girl. Like, she really thinks somebody's scared of her. So then, what's it called? Jennifer Tilly says in her confessional, I didn't think Erica would be bothered by my statement, but maybe she, maybe she feels bad because I made a valid point. The same way Erica said the same thing about Sutton feeling some type of way about the point that she made. So then Jennifer Tilly basically says, I didn't mean to make you guys upset. Like, I just voiced my opinion. So then Erica lets it be known that her and Sutton had a one-on-one. And Sutton was like, I didn't know that they were telling y'all those things, and I did not say that. Some people were mad that Sutton just didn't say, I didn't say that, but I felt that way. But if she didn't say it, she didn't say it. I mean, I feel like I probably would have been like, no, I didn't say that, but I did have those types of feelings. I didn't tell her to come tell y'all either. But, it is what it is. So I don't understand why Erica is so like stuck on like if they colluded against Sutton or not. Y'all been ganging up on Sutton for a while now. So why all of a sudden when you're being called out about it, are you this upset being like, I need you guys to hear me? I need you to hear me. I was like, Erica's really trying to have a moment. Even Kathy tried to be like, girl, it's not that deep. And she was like, she was like, with all due respect, it is important that you guys hear me. She's like, I don't care how you resolve it, but I don't need y'all to think that I would ever do something like that. So then Garcelle jumps in and she's like, we've been building a friendship and I appreciate what you're saying. And I don't believe that that's what y'all did on the boat. And Erica's like, thank you. And I said, girl, whatever. So I guess now Garcelle feels like because she can't really trust if Sutton is going to have her back, and seeing Sutton choose Kyle, she's just kind of like, you know what, maybe I should have been making friends with other people in this group. So she's like, she wants to get to know the ladies more, but she also wants them to get to know her more. And a lot of people were bothered by her saying that, but I feel like that just shows that they haven't really made a considerate effort to get to know her other than Sutton. Like, nobody else has, like, tried to get to know Garcelle beyond, like, the surface level of what she has given them, and vice versa. So then, what's her name? Bose says, I'm so glad we had this trip. This was a fun time. They talk about, this is, a toxic sisterhood. Then we see them partying up with the rest of the guests on the resort. Everyone was having a good time. It looked like it was a lot of fun. They were on stage getting it. I was like, okay, this is a vibe. I likes it. So we get the cue cards. So it says for Garcelle, Garcelle continues to call the shots on her set, but her favorite role is being a grandmother to Oliver's new daughter, Valley. I said, okay. For Bose, it says Bose has started her fertility journey with Keely, choosing the natural route to start. So y'all aren't doing IVF, y'all just having sex. Which, were y'all not having that before? Okay. And it says, and Keely finally gave Bose what she wanted for what she's been waiting for. I love you. Girl, that is depressing. Don't ever put that on nobody's cue card. A man finally saying he love her. Girl, like that lady out here begging. Then with Sutton, it says Sutton and Dorit's relationship remains on ice, but Sutton's relationship with Reba is warming up and better than ever. So good for her. It says for Kyle and Mauricio continue their stalemate over their next steps, but Kyle remains open to love in her life while hopefully avoiding the paparazzi, which she's not doing. And then with Dorit, it says Dorit and PK currently have no plans to rekindle their relationship, but they are working on co-parenting better, and Dorit is considering filtering PK's emails to her junk file. So neither Kyle or Dorit have made any step forward in their divorces. Stupid. So then the screen basically goes black, and then we have 1 month later. Because I was like, isn't this over? Like, you gave us the cue cards. Well, we find out that, Tom got sentenced. We see, Garcelle with her grandson, which was really cute, because she was like, what I got behind my pocket? He's like, Oreos. And Oliver was like, he thinks all she eat is Oreos. Then you have Bose doing meditation outside, and then you hear something be like, no. And there's like the dogs are outside, and it looks like a dead squirrel or a rat out on her porch. And she's like, Avi, come get it. And she's like, no, to the dogs, because there's like 2 other dogs. And then when Avi come out, he's like, oh, no. Avi said, that is beyond my job description, lady. So that was funny. So then we see Erica, like, aggressively eating ice cream. She's swinging open the refrigerator door and just hawking down Haagen-Dazs. And we find out that, Tom was found guilty on 4 counts of wire fraud, and he's looking at 80 years in jail. So then Kyle goes over to her house and basically see if she's okay. And she was like, Erica has been there for me and just really had my back, so I want to be there for her and have her back. So she's like, how are you doing? And Erica's like, terrible. So basically Erica is feeling some type of way about the verdict. Like, she was like, her and Tom had good times, they had bad times, but she just never thought this was how their lives would go. She said she was having a good time. We come back from vacation and this happens, and she's like, now she feels like she once was feeling like she was being pulled back down to that dark and scary place of being in depression, and she didn't want that. So she's just like, I'm trying my best to stay out of it and get out of that place. And she's like, me and Kyle, we both deserve to rewrite stories and reinvent ourselves. Kyle's is looking at her like, girl, my divorce is nothing like you. And then when she asks Erica, so who was his lawyer? And she was like, a public defendant. Kyle made a face like, girl, no wonder he about to get 80 years. She said he ain't had no money to get a good lawyer. I said, a mess. But Erica's cue card ends with Erica still hasn't spoken to Tom since the verdict, but her career continues to rise. It says she reprised her role as Roxy Hart on Broadway and is booked to headline the Mighty Hoopla Festival in London this summer. What the hell is that? So that was the end of the season. I don't know what they about to do. I really don't know what they about to do. Because there's no Garcelle, like I said. Garcelle is leaving. The cast hates Sutton. Bose has to come with a better storyline than trying to get pregnant at 48. to a grifter or for a grifter. Kyle and what's her name? Dorit, the divorce storyline, clearly y'all, there's nothing moving with that. And then Erica, we don't care. There's nothing, you can't milk the rising like a phoenix from the ashes storyline anymore. Like, you have gotten all of the milk out of that cow. I don't know what they're going to do next season. I don't know if they're going to have to put Beverly Hills on pause or come up with something, but they got to do something, and something fast. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. And as always, well, before that, Sutton, get off this show. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.